I'm so glad you're here tonight. I tell you, I have not had a whole lot of opportunity to video lately, and I am really missing you guys. So I'm glad to be back tonight. And I'm telling you, I've been working on I got a new Cricut for Christmas. I haven't had, well, my first Cricut for Christmas. And I've been working on making like a little file that I can cut, and I got it almost finished, and something went haywire and everything just, I don't know, it just like went wrong. So I'm a little stressed. I feel like doing a little bit of emotional eating right now. So I think tonight is a good night to make a dessert. And of course I'm going to try to make a keto friendly low carb dessert. And now this recipe I did not come up with, but it sounded really good. And so we're going to go ahead and make it. And we're using some of those Egglife wraps. Now the recipe I found doesn't call for the everything bagel Egglife wraps, but like I've said before, they really don't have a strong flavor of the everything bagel. So they're pretty versatile, and I think they're going to work out okay for this one. Now the recipe does call for, which I have never seen in the store, the cinnamon Egglife wrap. Cinnamon sugar. I don't know if they're cinnamon sugar or cinnamon. We can't have sugar anyway. If you're eating low carb, you don't eat sugar. So, but I have never seen the cinnamon ones in the store, ever. I don't know where they sell them at. But, so tonight we're going to go ahead and use one of these. And we're going to be making like mini peach cobblers. And that just sounded so good. I have all the stuff on hand. And so let me show you what we've got here, and we'll get started doing that. Okay, so I've got my, of course I just showed you my Egglife wraps. I've got 1 pound of frozen peaches. Now you can use fresh peaches. They're not in season right now. But if you have some that maybe you froze, or maybe you've, I don't know if you can even find fresh ones at the store right now. But frozen works just fine. Now the recipe calls for cornstarch, and it says it's keto friendly. I do have cornstarch, but I'm not going to use cornstarch. I'm going to attempt to use some of my beef gelatin because I know it's keto friendly. Then I have some allulose blend. Now normally I use the Splenda brand allulose, and Walmart has stopped selling that. So this is what we have, and this has allulose, erythritol, xanthan gum, and stevia leaf extract. So this is a blend, and since it does have xanthan gum, I may not really have to use a whole lot of the gelatin, because xanthan gum is also like a thickener type thing. And then I have some fresh nutmeg that I'm going to grind in mine, and I found this at the Amish store a while back, and it is very expensive. As you can see, like a silly person I am, I paid $9 for this container, but this will last me a lifetime, and if you keep it in an airtight container, and you could probably pop this in the freezer and it would be more better. But you can also use the nutmeg that's already ground for you. And then I have some ground cinnamon, and let's see if there's anything else. Oh, and for the topping, you're going to need some butter and some almond flour. So, okay, so I'm going to preheat my oven, and then we're going to get to the stove, and we'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so I'm preheating my oven to 350 degrees, and then I'm going to get my peaches in a saucepan on the stove here. And we're going to let those start kind of simmering just a little bit. And believe me when I say I don't need all 6 of these tonight, but I can refrigerate these and save some for other nights. So that will be good. Okay, so I've got my peaches in my saucepan, and I'm going to turn the burner on to like a medium heat. And let me go this way. Medium heat, and I'm going to add in my my sweetener and my spices. Let me get my measuring spoon here. I'm going to need about 4 tablespoons of the sweetener. And then I can add a little more in a little bit if I don't think it's sweet enough. Now the recipe does call, and I'll post the recipe in the description box. The recipe does call for a ½ cup of sweetener to your 1 pound of peaches. So, but this, with it having erythritol in it, I'm not sure that I will need that much. Okay, and I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons, 1½ teaspoons, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Then I'm going to grate a whole nutmeg like I showed you a second ago, and they look like this. If you've never seen whole nutmeg, they kind of look like a nut. And you just grate the outside. And freshly grated nutmeg tastes so much better, so much fresher. It smells good too. Okay, so there you can see where I've grated that at, and I've got probably a 1/4 teaspoon or so in there, and I think that should be good enough. Now I'm just going to stir all that up. You shouldn't need to add any water because these peaches are going to release a lot of their juices and make and we're going to make like a little bit of a syrup in here. And then we will add our thickener to it. And this smells so good. Okay, now while that is getting ready to simmer, we're gonna assemble our Egglife wraps. Okay, now to put our Egglife wraps together, we're going to use a muffin tin, and you can use a regular size muffin tin. I've got the, it's like the bigger muffin, so I'm going to use one of those. We have 6 Egglife wraps, so we'll be able to make 6 cobblers. And now we need to spray our muffin tin, so I've just got some pan spray here, and I'm going to spray my pan. Okay, and now you will want to make sure that your pan is sprayed pretty good because these would stick to it. Okay, and you just set one in there, just like this, and kind of shape it into your pan there, just like that. Okay, and it's all right if you're going to have some creases and some bends, and that's okay. You just want to make sure that it's pretty evenly centered in your pan. And we're going to do that with all 6 of these. Okay, so there we go, and they don't have to be perfect. They're just fine the way they are. And now as soon as those peaches get ready, we're going to add our thickener to it. So let's go over there and do that. Okay, our peaches are cooking down quite a bit. And now I'm not going to have to add, oh, there's our oven. It's ready for us. preheated to 350. Now it looks like I've got just a little bit too much cinnamon in here, but I love cinnamon, so it's not going to bother me in the slightest. Okay, and I'm going to use about 1 teaspoon of the gelatin, though I don't really think that we're going to need it. I'm just going to sprinkle that on there and stir it in. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little dab of water. Apple juice would be a good substitute for the little bit of water. Okay, so I didn't even put, you know, like just a couple tablespoons in there. And so we're gonna let that simmer just a little bit longer while we get our topping put together. So let's go. Okay, so let's get our topping put together. In my bowl, I have about a half stick of butter here. And now I'm just gonna need a couple of tablespoons of almond flour. Couple generous tablespoons of almond flour. And about a tablespoon of the sweetener. Okay, and we're just going to mix that together with a fork. And of course, your butter should be softened. Kind of making a mess here. I should have got a bigger bowl. I didn't think I would need a bigger bowl. Anyway, you're just going to combine that until you get some light crumble. Let me go ahead and get a bigger bowl here. Here we go. And I think I'm going to add another couple tablespoons. I don't have my recipe in front of me because it's on my phone. And my phone is what I'm taping this off of. So I'm just going to add another couple tablespoons of the almond flour. And if you have to, get in there with your hands and mix it up that way. You just want a nice crumble, just like you would make a crumble with oats and butter and sugar, brown sugar or whatever. You're just making a crumble. Okay. So there we go, a crumble. And now let's get our pan and our pan with peaches. And we're going to get these things assembled and get them in the oven. I cannot wait. I'm ready for dessert. Okay, these are looking good, guys. Oh my goodness, look at those, nice and cinnamony. I am thinking I'm going to taste the filling to make sure that it's got enough sweetener. Tastes pretty good. I might go ahead and stir in maybe about another tablespoon. Just because I like my desserts kind of sweet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just stir that in real good. Okay, now the recipe says to add about a third cup of your peaches to your Egglife wrap little shells here. So, and I'm going to try to do this without burning myself. Here, we'll add it to that one. I hope we have enough for all 6 of them. Maybe I'm being a little too generous. Okay, now we're going to just sprinkle on our crumb topping, and I'm going to be kind of generous. I think it looks like we got plenty here. This is looking really good. It's tasting really good and smelling really good. I hope they turn out good. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, perfect. There we go, guys. Okay, we're going to get these in our oven. It's preheated to 350 degrees, and I'll let you know how long they have to bake for. Okay, well, they are in the oven, and I will come back and do a taste test, and I'll let you know how long they baked for. And I'm really looking forward to these, guys. I haven't had dessert in quite a while. So, oh wow, pardon my hair. I've been working all day, and anyway, these are in the oven. They're smelling good, they're looking good, and I can't wait. So I'll be back in just a second, okay? Okay, so these are done, and I let them cool off a little bit. So let me serve myself up one. Let's see. Now these took about 15 minutes on the dot to cook. Looks really good. I think I would like my Egglife wrap probably just a little bit crispier. It might even benefit you to bake them a little bit beforehand. So that way when you put the filling in there, they're a little more crispy, and they'll turn out a little more crispy like a pie, is my opinion. Now, I want to taste the crumble and see how that tastes. Looks really good. That's pretty good. Just sweet enough. I'm trying to think of what it tastes like. It's kind of almost like a soft cookie. And I went ahead, because I can't have ice cream, but I can have whipped cream. I went ahead and made some homemade whipped cream here, and I'm just going to put a little dollop on top of mine. If I can get it off the spoon here. Okay, and I think I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle just a tad, just a tad of fresh nutmeg on there. I'm just going to go ahead and use that little piece of nutmeg I already started. I'm just going to grate just a tad on there. Doesn't that look pretty? Okay, let's take a bite of this deliciousness. That looks so, so good. I am dying to try this. See if I can get a little bit of all of it. Like I said, I think I would prefer the Egglife wrap to be a little crispier, because I'm having just a bit of trouble breaking it apart there. But okay, here's my bite. I've got a little bit of peach, a little bit of cream, a little bit of the shell, the crust, whatever you want to call it there. If I can keep it on the fork. It's definitely good. Those peaches with that cream and that cinnamon. Oh, that's awesome. So worth it. So guys, if you want to try this recipe, my only suggestion would be, like I said, is to maybe pre-bake the Egglife wrap just a touch, so they're kind of crispier, like a crust. But other than that, these are delicious. And I will post the original recipe down in the description box, and I will also post the recipe that has my few tweaks and suggestions. And I hope you'll try these. If you're wanting a dessert and you want something low carb, now the peaches do have carbs, okay? And the sweetener does have a little bit of carbs, but these are perfectly good enough if you're keto or low carb, or you're watching your sugar. You know, if you're diabetic and you're watching your sugar, like I am, the peaches are what you would need to watch out for. But the non-calorie or the no sugar sweetener is okay for you. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. I really hope you'll try it. I think you're gonna like it. This is perfect like in the fall, or even it's spring, but it's still chilly outside. So this nice hot cobbler is delicious and perfect for the evening. So anyway, thank you for joining me tonight here at Life on Turkey Lane. I really do appreciate you guys. Be blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.